Parliamentary opposition walks out of session.
Speaker has compromised his job.
Government describes walkout as disappointing.
The Speaker was merely performing his function.
And PNG Defence Force calls for facts.
Please call us and confirm.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Friday's news. The stories from Parliament a little later on in the bulletin. But first, landowners from the Como airfield in Hela province have given the government and developer of the PNG LNG project, ExxonMobil, 7 days before they close down the airport facility. They say a peaceful protest will be staged at Como if the government does not respond favorably to their petition.
With their last petition elapsing yesterday, the Como airfield landowners have given a grace period of 7 days to the state to respond. A 10 million kina offer by the state has been rejected by the landowners. Leader John Pipija says a peaceful protest will be staged after 7 days.
Me giving 40 days in happiness. No one bla feedback na, no one bla ansa kama bla ditla. Am last talk sa blo migulo babni gini gaman wala ExxonMobil. Mi bla ko ta bai ko back long Como. Bami bla by passing Como airfield. Na wogi ma mi bla ba wogi ma peaceful protest. Inom blong touching property blo company or one member no got.
The previous petition elapsed yesterday on May 31st with no response from the state. The petition points include 35 million kina outstanding business development grants and for the Como facility to be a standalone like the Papa Lea refinery.
We have no option. Our only option is to go back home and shut the project for indefinite period. Affiliate we commit him 2.5 kilometers long problem now. We blame him 1.5 kilometers here. And triple half ground blame commit him lost. ExxonMobil.
This group of landowners represent 16 clan heads that have surrendered the land, forest and other resources to the state for the Como airfield base in the PNG LNG project. The state has been paying them for 700 kina per family every year.
So me by worry lo this 700 kina per hectare na ba wait patiently for another 10 more years or what? Now we are enough. We fed up of state ExxonMobil. Now ba go na lugar them every step.
The Como airfield landowners say the peaceful protest is not a threat but to seek government's attention. They now want to make the position known after they describe as years of bullying by the state and developer ExxonMobil.
Bamla passing down, close it down, bamla stop. NC one them gaman, you talk, gaman you talk, you start NC na ExxonMobil you talk, gaman by talk, but you playing football also mibla. So mibla closing down airport, you talk about airport, mibla start Como.
Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
The election petition case for the Hela regional seat is in the balance. Today, the Waigani National Court dismissed an application by first respondent and sitting governor Philip Undialu on grounds of objection to competency. Justice Terence Higgins pointed out that the provincial returning officer was not consistent with election processes, therefore allegedly failing to declare a true result. The case will now proceed to trial with the courts to set a date. Petitioner Francis Potape has welcomed the decision and urged people in Hela to allow the court proceedings to be completed with a decision. The court also ordered the respondents to pay the petitioner's cost of incidents to these proceedings. As host of almost a third of the world's tropical rainforests, Papua New Guinea has a moral obligation and a responsibility to the next generation and the entire world to do all it can to protect and conserve its rainforests and natural environment. NCD Governor Tuas Pakop made these statements today by announcing the city's plan and preparation for the forthcoming World Environment Day on the 5th of June.
NCD Governor Powers Pakop has called on city residents to come out this Saturday to clean the city as part of a commitment to World Environment Day and the city of Port Moresby. As part of this commitment, the employees of NCDC will be doing a major cleanup from Boroko to Gordons tomorrow. This year, World Environment Day falls on June 5th, next week Tuesday, and NCDC has opted to celebrate the day early with Saturday's cleanathon from Boroko to Gordons. Governor Pakop also made a call to the national government to declare June 5th a national day of action to protect the environment, making it a public holiday where people can do public cleanup, beautify the environment and plant trees. This Sunday's Walk for Life will also be themed to promote World Environment Day. An open invitation has been extended to staff and the Board of National Forestry Authority, SIPA, Department of Mining and Energy to also join the Cleanathon on June 2nd and Walk for Life on June 3rd, as these are state agencies who can multiply NCDC's efforts to protect the national environment. Other government departments and agencies, private sector, churches, NGOs and all stakeholders are also invited to join NCDC in its conservation efforts. Stacey Yallo, National MTV News.
The official launching of the 6th Melanesian Festival of Arts and Culture was held last night in Port Moresby. The festival will be held in Honiara, the Solomon Islands, from the 1st to the 10th of July.
Papua New Guinea will be sending a contingent of 150 participants to Honiara. There are 5 Melanesian island states and 2 territories that will send their contingents to participate in the festival. A diverse array of cultural activities will be showcased through dance and theatre performances, craftsmen, oratory skills, elaborate carvings from wood, and more. The Melanesian Arts and Culture Festival is held every 4 years and was first hosted by Solomon Islands in 1998. Vanuatu hosted the second in 2002, followed by Fiji in 2006. New Caledonia hosted the 4th festival in 2010 and Papua New Guinea hosted the 5th in 2014. Last night saw a number of cultural groups and bands perform during the night to mark the official launching of the festival and also PNG's participation at the festival. About 150 people from PNG, including bilum and basket weavers, carvers, body tattooists, jewelers, florists and culinary artists, theatre groups and a contemporary music group will travel to Solomon Islands for the 6th Melanesian Arts and Culture Festival. Elijah Levet, National MTV News.
Here with National MTV News, we go for a break now and be back with more of the day's stories when we return. Stay tuned. Welcome back to National MTV News. Papua New Guinea is faced with many basic health care challenges and healthcare for people in rural and urban areas. This has prompted a businessman to set up a medical center in the heart of Port Moresby. The 6 million kina Rainbow Medical Center was opened today by Governor General Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadai. He urged private hospitals and clinics to provide quality service at reasonable rates for Papua New Guineans.
Governor General Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadai officially opened Rainbow Medical Center in Port Moresby. The medical center is nationally owned and was built to cater for the demand in health care in the Moresby Northwest electorate. The Governor General said he was pleased to open a medical center that is nationally owned.
Local health care providers offer their services by establishing health centers such as the one that we are about to celebrate opening today.
Medical Director of the Medical Center, Dr. Paul Pumier, said all requirements were complied with NCDC Physical Planning Board standards and the Medical Board.
We've got the NCD National Physical Planning Board. What's okay? The Medical Board, we've obtained the license. Only after that, we officially opened it today.
Dr. Pumier said they will ensure their services provided is quality and at a price that is affordable.
We are more religiously based organization. We want to take care of our simple people of Papua New Guinea. We want to provide health care to the whole range. Everybody.
Chairman and owner Joe Tonde, who contested the 2017 national general election, said he hopes to have more clinics set up around the Northwest electorate.
Equipment stuff. So maybe I spend him about 6 million. Long haul machines now. Now building mission of election now. All the money finish, but last stop me finishing so. I'm plus 7 people less so. Miss Ave also big man, but still and blessing me.
The Rainbow Medical Center will provide general and specialist consultation, antenatal clinics, pharmaceutical and laboratory services, dental consultation and other medical services. They currently have 6 specialist doctors and plan to expand in the future to hospital services. Adelaide Sirox Kari, National EMTV News.
As Southern Highlands slowly recovers from the February earthquake devastation, a large number of critical social services have been disrupted, affecting close to 270,000 people. In helping the province recover, UNICEF, along with other development partners, is supporting a capacity building program to ensure normalcy in essential social services. More than 70 participants from health centres and aid posts across the province were upskilled on best practices in newborn care.
The success of the early essential newborn care rollout in Eastern Highlands Province has prompted UNICEF to introduce the program in Southern Highlands. The Essential Newborn Care, or EENC, aims at ensuring newborns are given proper care, starting from the home right up to the highest health facility in the province.
In the Provincial Health Authority, they plan a total of 110 health workers to be trained from 32 health facilities. So then we continue this program, and as of now, we trained 72 health workers from 22 health facilities. And these are the health facilities, they conduct delivery, they provide newborn care. So we prioritize and focus on health facility where the number of deliveries are high.
During the rollout, more than 70 participants from health centres and aid posts were trained, and a further 22 were upskilled on the best accepted practices in newborn care. The focus is to improve the quality of care before, during and immediately after the birth, with the ultimate goal of reducing maternal and neonatal mortality rates in the country, which places PNG the highest in the Pacific.
Up 2.5 years, there has been significant improvement in terms of the service deliveries at these project sites, and that has been a lot of awareness among the mother and caretakers about the danger sign, about the kangaroo mother care, about proper breastfeeding, and when to refer, timely referral.
Basic hygiene practices like hand washing and double gloving during the birthing process were reinforced. Health workers received training on managing hypothermia in newborns through regular and continuous temperature monitoring using the baby called Kilok.
This device detects hypothermia or any problem with the baby. So normally the child is warm, healthy, so no problem, it gives a blue color. There is any orange color or a alarm, that means the child is hypothermia. The temperature falls below 36.5 degree. And the good part is that the remedial action is very easy. The mother has to put the baby on skin to skin contact. That is called kangaroo mother care.
The implementation of EENC program is a partnership between the National Department of Health, Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization, which is being piloted in several provinces as part of the national policy and national neonatal health care strategy, contributing to Sustainable Development Goal targets to reduce neonatal mortality to 12 per 1,000 live births. Stacey Yallo, National EMTV News.
To our top stories now, and a near confrontation on the floor of Parliament this morning, with the opposition walking out in protest over the referral of Madang MP Brian Kramer to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee. Mr. Kramer's referral follows an article he published on Facebook regarding the purported decision to ban Facebook. According to the opposition, the referral is a demonstration of the government encroaching on citizens' constitutional rights to freedom of expression. Parliament met this morning with the first order of the day, the Speaker's response to a matter raised by member for Tewai Siasi, Kobe Bomareo, regarding a Facebook post by Madang MP Brian Kramer.
The Chair has considered the responses given by various individuals to the Facebook post by the Honourable Member for Madang and has come to the conclusion that some of the responses clearly reflect the diminished respect for the Parliament. Therefore, Honourable Members, the Chair is satisfied that there is a prima facie case of breach of privilege on the part of the Member for Madang, Honourable Brian Kramer, and accordingly, the Chair now refers the Honourable Member to the Committee of Privileges pursuant to Standing Order 98.
Parliament Speaker Job Pomat began by handing down his decision on a request to refer Mr. Kramer to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee. Whilst the Speaker was delivering his decision, a point of order was raised by Opposition Leader Patrick Pruich.
As far as I can recollect, there was no statement by the Minister on the floor of Parliament with regard to this. There was no statement whatsoever. He only made that statement outside of Parliament as a Minister, not on the floor of Parliament.
The opposition members then walked out of the chamber, which subsequently saw the chamber erupt in a shouting match, with emotions running high on both sides of the House.
Order. Order.
The opposition held a media conference immediately after walking out of the chamber, with its members criticizing the decision of the Speaker to refer Mr. Kramer to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee.
That Speaker has compromised his job. He is allowing executive government to dictate to him on what to do on the floor of Parliament. It's unreal, people of Papua New Guinea. It must be impartial all the time. The Chair must be neutral. What else is available for the people of this country to air their grievances in relation to policies of government, decisions of government? We say that our democracy will be compromised by this government, and the Speaker is now the instrument of the executive government.
If individual members of Parliament, especially those on government, think that they are a protected species and are not liable to be critiqued, then how can we as opposition do our job? So we think that that is a fundamental, it's an attack on the fundamentals of the way of government as we have it now.
The opposition went further to claim that the move by the Speaker compromised the independence of the legislature, with claims that this was all in line with moves to clamp down on free speech by the government.
They're basically complaining about their feelings of being hurt. Being hurt because someone said something that they feel has offended them or demeaned them in some way. But this comes with the territory. When you're a leader, you're going to get criticized. That's normal. Donald Trump gets criticized, you know. The Australian Prime Minister gets criticized. And they take it. They don't go and refer these matters to the Parliamentary Privileges.
The government has described the actions of the opposition in walking out of the chambers today as disappointing. Deputy Prime Minister Charles Abel, when addressing the media, said the proper avenue for the opposition to raise their concerns was on the floor of Parliament. Parliament proceedings were halted this morning for a brief moment when members of the opposition walked out in protest over the referral of Madang MP Brian Kramer to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee. Following the walkout by members of the opposition in Parliament this morning, the government held a media conference soon after Parliament rose. Deputy Prime Minister Charles Abel began by sounding the government's disappointment at the actions taken by the opposition. According to Mr. Abel, what happened was unnecessary.
Shame that it seems that sometimes some of our leaders think that it is a forum for political stunt or dealing with issues that are really rather petty and not warranting the kind of action where you forsake your duty as a leader on the floor of Parliament to walk out over what really is essentially a rather trivial matter, and a matter that is being dealt with by the Speaker in the normal course of his duties. There was no determination made in relation to that particular incident in terms of the referral of the good member for Madang to the Privileges Committee. The Speaker was merely performing his functions, following the due process, and that process will then be addressed in due course at committee level.
The government was also asked about their position regarding the reported ban on Facebook in the country, with Communications Minister Sem Basil providing some sort of clarity to the media. The issues brought to light early this week through a front-page report in the Post-Courier.
So really, it's a shame to elevate this sort of incident to this kind of a level, quite frankly. I think the members of the opposition will be better served to retain their seats on the floor of Parliament and speak to the issues at hand about what is really important to their constituents.
It is very sad to see the Honourable Member for Medang refer to me as a dumb becoming the dumbest. So I am relieved, and I feel that it is proper that any members of Parliament that goes out, call another member of Parliament a dumb, a stupid, an idiot, we should be referred to the Privilege Committee. And not only that, I've instructed my lawyers to use the Cybercrime Act on harassment, cyber harassment, and of course defamation. And we are filing for Brian, and he will be arrested, he'll be charged, and we will make sure that we get down to the bottom of it. And this sends a warning to other members of Parliament.
And the decision to refer Medang MP Brian Kramer to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee was based on sound legal advice. Speaker of Parliament Job Pomat made these remarks when addressing the media today. Whilst brushing aside accusations of bias and undue influence from the government, the Speaker said it was indeed a sad day for democracy following the actions taken by the opposition to walk out of Parliament. Speaker Job Pomat called a media conference this afternoon to provide clarity into the decision to refer Medang MP Brian Kramer to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee. According to Mr. Pomat, the decision had been reached following consultation with Parliament's clerk and legal team.
So maybe in parliamentary procedures and processes where we talk time this kind of situation may come up. And now maybe in process belongan, we come back some advice law. All workman the Parliament, all go through all the all law staff. Na, am now recommendation. We must refer him. Igolo Privileges Committee. La privileges. Is only law you can work in any kind and you immune. Long when a kind court or when a kind talk is only accorded law you floor chamber. Member inside the chamber can work in any comment. If a time when some comment we talk him in a straight, speaker can ask him long, withdraw him this plan.
The Speaker also brushed aside accusations of government influence in reaching the decision to refer the member for Medang. According to Mr. Pomat, today marked a sad day for democracy with what had transpired on the floor of the House.
But our side, the time you go talk, you go our side, you go newspaper, now when I'm road now, lo make him this withdrawal, lo talk ya. Mina na pro lo chair, but talk mo ke our side. So you not be withdraw him this statement lo sia. That's why all this law Parliament, you allow him this lo come up.
Whilst a date for the Parliamentary Privileges Committee meeting has not been set as yet, the Speaker is confident in the ability of the committee to be impartial in its hearings.
Me work in referral behind the process and procedures, but I'm work belong committee now. All by work of determination whether I'm guilty or not guilty. Decision is of the committee. Me believe Bali make him.
The Papua New Guinea Defence Force has invited media personnel to confirm allegations involving soldiers before publishing reports. This comes after the PNGDA had expressed disappointment in a story published by the Post-Courier today. The story involved allegations of a raid and the injuring of 44 people, allegedly by PNGDF soldiers.
Chief of PNGDF Joint Operations, Colonel Wenzel, who is in charge of the operations in the Highlands, said Post-Courier had failed to contact PNGDF to verify the information and should do so in the future.
On our side, we've established the fact, firstly, there were two incidents, and that was that involved the members of our engineer battalion who have always been in that part of the country on civic action.
The story published by Post Courier today reported that a raid was conducted in a village in the Western Highlands province. The report stated that 4 pastors and 2 peasants living with disabilities were injured during the raid.
So the message was they wanted to snatch a weapon. So in deterring that, our troops with the policemen fired shots, warning shots into the air, resulting on the tribesmen fleeing. Then 8 who consumed marijuana drugs were arrested, and not that 46 or 44 that was reported. That's 8 were tribesmen from Laikam village were arrested and locked up in Mendi.
Chief of Staff Captain Philip Porawara says news reports involving PNG-DF members should always be verified with the PNG-DF media team because it may increase security concerns, especially when PNG is hosting the APEC Leaders Summit in November.
My appeal to the media is, I think a lot of you have my number, my contact. If there's anything, report of such or just about anything concerning the PNGDF, please call up. We have a media unit now that is up and running. Please call us and confirm.
Based on information received from the Defence Force personnel on the ground, the alleged incident was a result of a case involving a known criminal who attempted to steal a weapon from soldiers in Western Highlands. Taklagunga, National EMTV News.
The Road and Traffic Act of 2014 is effective as of today, the 1st of June. Road Traffic Authority Chief Executive Nelson Terma says its enforcement unit, police and other agencies will be out in force to implement this act. The Old Traffic Act was drafted prior to independence.
The new fees and charges will be on the website. Have access to it, and also some of them we put them on today's paper, both Post Courier and National. Have a look at them and then be aware of the charges that's going to be imposed on you as a motorist, as a driver, or as a passenger or vehicle owner. So people need to understand this because some of these fees and prices have been increased.
Here with Friday's news, we go for a break now and be back with more after these messages. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Friday's news. Alima Dairy, operated by Innovative Agro Industry, has just received another delivery of maize from Central Province smallholders farmers, provided by local farmers at Aroma and Kairuku. IAI PNG has been working with the Central Province Administration to develop the maize outgrow program for local farmers. IAI Chairman Ilan Weiss says families can now maximize revenues from their plots with a secure market.
After receiving their first harvest in April, Alima Dairy, operated by Innovative Agro Industries, received its second harvest of maize on Wednesday. IAI provides seeds and extension support to the program. This, in turn, provides an important element of the feed for the Alima Dairy farm. The program is just another human impact of the Alima Dairy farm. The operation has created 200 new jobs and new cash cropping opportunities for local Central Province farmers. In addition, Alima Fresh Milk is now selling at the discount prices of 5 kina per litre and 2 kina per half a litre. Now with the discount, Alima Dairy is on par with the imported UHT milk, which is sold in cartons. The discounts are designed to make fresh milk more accessible to consumers to continue their support for the local dairy industry. More flavors will be unveiled in the next quarter, and before the end of the year, consumers will be able to purchase and enjoy locally produced Alima Dairy yogurt too. Lilian Soperakinea, National EMTV News.
Beneficiaries awaiting entitlements from the Public Curator's Office do not have to come to Port Moresby to apply for letters of administration from the National Court in Waigani. They can visit specific national courts in each region, and now that the process has been decentralized, Public Curator Jacob Popuna says this service is more practical and efficient for beneficiaries.
This morning, the first 17 beneficiaries in Morobe attended their court hearings in Lae's National Court. This is to obtain legal documents that will allow them to continue the process of claiming entitlements from the Public Curator's Office.
So the ones who are here now are fortunate that they don't have to spend extra cost in pursuing their benefits down in Waigani. So it'll be done in the regions, and the officers here will deal with it and then pay out whatever the beneficiaries are entitlements.
Since independence, applications for beneficiaries could only be granted by the National Court in Waigani. The process has now been decentralized to national courts in each region, following discussions between the Public Curator and the National Registrar to make the process more efficient for beneficiaries.
You don't have to travel to Waigani for your DC estate applications for grant of legislative administration.
At the moment, there are up to 1,000 families in Lae whose cases are yet to be addressed by the Public Curator's Office. Some of these families have waited for more than 20 years.
And by this change now, it can happen in a month or two, or even 3 months.
With the process now being decentralized, beneficiaries in the Highlands region will be going to the National Court in Mount Hagen, Kokopo for the New Guinea Islands, and here in Lae for the Momase region. Lucy Kopana, National EMTV News, Lae.
To news abroad now, and in El Salvador, someone is murdered every 2 hours. It is a country racked by crime and rampant gang warfare, but women are especially vulnerable to the violence. In this exclusive report on El Salvador's gangs, CNN looks at how the women in the gangs are treated, and we warn viewers the report contains some disturbing images.
What you're about to see at the side of the highway on a very ordinary morning happens to women in El Salvador every 19 hours. This is where Jennifer Landaverde was shot 8 times at dawn on her way to work. Age 22, clothes around her ankles, scuff marks on her knees. Her shoes are put aside, handed to her mother, who heard the gunshots and found her daughter's body. Even police here fear to show their faces. Nobody will talk, bar to say it was the gang Barrio 18. Out here, far from the city, used to be safe from gangs. But now Jennifer's wake is silent, with only fear filling the stifling air. The daily toll mounts, its graphic scenes follow.
1
in every 5,000 women here is murdered each year, the highest rate in the world by some counts, and only 1 in 20 crimes ends in conviction in El Salvador. Gang culture is at its most twisted, with women gang raped as an initiation rite, or conversely, if their family are police or military, gang drug mules or sex slaves, forced foster parents to the children of gang members, and sometimes they are the assassins themselves. Across town, we gain rare access to where the gang's targets turned hitmen end up. This women's prison is crammed, but this is comparatively good for El Salvador. A jail is so rarely a place for sympathy, but women are so often dragged into barbaric gang culture and often find themselves on the receiving end of a violent society. Here we meet Roxana, who belonged broadly to the gang that killed Jennifer. She's 37 and remembers how she murdered a male gang member to end up here.
Perhaps I was scared because it was the first time in my life that something like that happened. I was scared, but when I realized what I have done, the police had already arrested me.
That's the name of her son, Rafael, 24, on her arm, a gang member killed in gang violence. He died 4 months ago on this day, she says.
It was very painful for me because I didn't want him to follow my very same path. But before I realized, he had become a gang member already, and I wasn't able to do anything for him.
She remembers her initiation into the gang Barrio 18.
I got kicked and hit. That was necessary to be a part of it.
How long did that last for, I ask?
18 seconds. Yes, there are women that go through wars. Sometimes they are raped, beaten up, mistreated.
She was young when she joined. There was little choice.
My father died and my mother was an alcoholic and left us. I looked after 5 brothers, and that's how I ended up on the streets and in the gangs. I thought it was a game, and in the end, it was. While I was inside here, I've lost my son, my mom, all those I loved. Most people I knew when I joined are dead now.
While they have victims of their own, they were likely once victims themselves. A cycle of brutality that drags El Salvador deeper into penury and despair.
You're watching National EMTV News. We go for a break now. When we come back, some sporting updates in Cronkite Sports. Stay tuned.
Cronkite Sports.
Welcome to Cronkite Sports. We begin with weightlifting, and Dika Toa is likely to be given the gold medal from the 2018 Gold Coast Commonwealth Games after Indian gold medal winner Sanjita Chanu failed a drug test. According to the International Weightlifting Federation, the Indian lifter has been temporarily suspended and, if proven guilty, will be banned from the sport for 4 years.
To defend her title.
Dika Toa won silver in the women's 53 kg division at the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games in April this year. Toa went down to Indian lifter Sanjita Chanu. Chanu claimed gold and also broke the Commonwealth Games record. In recent news, Sanjita failed a dope test for a banned anabolic steroid, testosterone. At the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games, a similar incident occurred where a Nigerian weightlifter was stripped from her gold medal after proving positive in a doping test. The gold was then given to Dika, who had finished behind the Nigerian. There is no confirmation yet if Sanjita will be stripped of her medal and if Toa will be declared the 53 kg Gold Coast Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Indian Weightlifting Federation has backed Sanjita, saying they're confident she has not done anything wrong. Her A sample has proven positive, and so IWLF has requested for the B sample test. A decision will be made depending on the outcome of sample B. Ligel Vet, National EMTV Sports.
To Rugby League now, and the PNG Hunters hooker Wartovo Puara Jr. will become the first player to reach 100 intra-Super Cup games for the Hunters this weekend. The Hunters rake will lead the team out against East Tigers in this Saturday's round 13 clash in Brisbane.
The feisty dummy half became Hunter number 9 when he ran out for the SP Hunters in their inaugural season and first intra-Super Cup Premiership game against Redcliffe Dolphins on March 2, 2014 in Brisbane. This New Britain lad then went on to win the 2015 Intra-Super Cup People's Choice Award. The highlight of his career came when the Hunters won the ISC Premiership Trophy in 2017, one Puara remembers with much pride.
It's just a memorable game for me, because we take the cup back and this year we're trying to defend it, so the last year is the game. Just having the self-belief in me, like I have belief in me that I can do it, that's all, and I work hard at training. My preparation towards the game is the biggest thing. So
4 years on, Puara becomes the first Hunter to reach a career milestone of 100 appearances for his club when he leads the Hunters against the East Tigers this weekend.
I'm kind of having a mixed emotional at the moment, like having a first player to have played 100 games for the Hunters since we joined the comp. So yeah, I'm happy at the moment, but it's emotional for me.
Meanwhile, fellow centre Willie Minoga reached his 100th Intra-Super Cup game against Burleigh Bears in round 9. In 2016, Minoga played 21 games for the Townsville Blackhawks. This weekend, the Hunter number 15 will run out for game number 83 for the SP Hunters against East Tigers. Minoga made his debut along with Wartovo Puara Jr. in the first ISC match against Redcliffe Dolphins on March 2, 2014. He won the People's Choice Award in the Hunters' inaugural year.
Privilege and honor to play like 100 games in touch games. Yeah, I'm really happy and looking forward to play more games.
Coach Michael Marum congratulated both players on their achievements and thanked them for their service to the side.
He's been one of our best players, ever since we started the Hunters. Back in the days where I was coaching the Egma Gurus there, so, picked them up from schoolboys together with a few other boys, Israel, Ase. So yeah, he's been with us since day one. So he's also playing. He's also played past 103 games. But for the Hunters, he only played 82. So but again, ISC games, a big game. So both players will go out there, and that's the experience we want back in the team. So.
Marum has omitted Brandon Gotuno and Bando Abba from the team announced on Tuesday for Saturday's clash against East Tigers. James Yakopa is the 18th man travelling to Brisbane. Shane Saroya, National, EMTV Sports.
Don't go anywhere, we'll have more of Cronkite Sports after these messages.
Cronkite Sports.
Welcome back to Cronkite Sports. Kumul Petroleum Holdings launched the inaugural Charity Golf Cup last night at the Stanley Hotel in Port Moresby. The tournament will be held on the 13th of July at the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club.
The charity golf event was started to help raise funds for Life PNG Care. Life PNG Care is a non-government organization which runs a care center for underprivileged children in Port Moresby.
The Charity Golf Challenge aligns well with our vision and values. One of the ways we can live our vision to add value and create opportunity is by working through the children ages 6 to 21. And we can do that through Life Care PNG.
The event will be an annual challenge to be held in the month of July. Kumul Petroleum is happy to support Life PNG Care by hosting an annual golf tournament to raise funds for the foundation. All proceeds raised from the event will go straight to Life PNG Care.
This event, by launching it at the same time, is an appeal to the nation, to the rest of the private sector, the government sector, to come and support this event.
Life PNG Care National Director Colin Pake shared the struggles they face running such an organization. He said since they started, they managed to help many homeless children, and through their Strong in Pikinini education program, were able to send many to schools.
The reason why we come up with this mobile education program is because we bring education to where the children are. We just see them every time we have other programs like feeding and giving clothes. So we don't want to go in that approach anymore. We see that that is kind of a band-aid approach. So we want to do more something lasting and impacting the children. So in that way, we bring school to where they are.
He thanked Kumul Petroleum for the initiative and says this will benefit many homeless children around Port Moresby.
It is a new beginning, and together we can impact our underprivileged children.
Elijah Levet, National, EMTV Sports.
And that's it for Cronkite Sports. We go for a break now. When we come back, the weather details for Saturday. Stay tuned.
Cronkite Sports. Cronkite Sports.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
A quick look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Port Moresby, Daru and Alotau, sunny and windy. To the Momasa region, showers expected in Lae, Wau and Madang. To the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, Kavieng, Kimbe and Buka can expect a shower or two. And in the Highlands region, all the major centres Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg can expect morning fog clearing with rain drizzles over the next 24 hours.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
That's the news, sport and weather for today, Friday, the 1st of June 2018. On behalf of the EMTV News team, have a pleasant weekend. Good night.